Trade rumors are heating up as a report has revealed the Baltimore Orioles are actively interested in moving one of their veteran players. Who is it? Find out on this episode of Orioles Digest. Welcome to Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice, and we have a ton to talk about. Multiple Baltimore Orioles players have been floating in the MLB trade rumors all week. Some guys that we know, Félix Bautista, Ryan O'Hearn, and some other guys that might surprise you. But without further ado, let's get into the video and take a deep dive into all these trade rumors. Yes, it's true. The Baltimore Orioles are listening to trades for Félix Bautista, Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, Tomoyuki Sagano. I'm sorry, I still pronounced that name a little wrong. And then the last one is Trevor Rogers. Now, let's not forget, this was an article posted by Ken Rosenthal and John Heyman. But John Heyman came up with this trade idea that he believes the Baltimore Orioles and the Phillies could pull off an interesting trade. Imagine this, Felix Bautista and left-handed Gregory Soto for starting pitcher Micah Bell, who's the number 5th prospect and the 86th overall in the MLB pipeline. So, and a right-handed pitching prospect, the number 12 prospect. So we're getting 2 prospects back for Félix Bautista, who is now in a prime stage of his career. He's gotten back to Felix prime role, 0.98 ERA in his last 20 innings. That's dominant. Then Gregory Soto hasn't been that guy that we thought could be that guy. Now, I would not do this trade at all. I'm sorry. The way that Felix Bautista's been playing, we got to set him up for next year. This was just a year to get him healthy and back in the flow of baseball because he hasn't played baseball in a very long time. So this was the year to just get him back in the flow and get him adjusted. Next year is the year where he's going to take off, be an all-star, be one of the best closers in baseball. Heyman, I don't think this deal is going to happen. Now, he also did say that they could throw Cedric Mullins in that deal, flop Batista out, whatever you want to do. I think a guy like Cedric Mullins might be on the move, or Ryan O'Hearn. I would say you throw Ryan O'Hearn in that deal and replace with Felix Bautista and see if you can get that deal with Gregory Soto and Ryan O'Hearn. If you have to throw him more, that's the curse that he's just going to be sitting in AAA. There's no opportunity for him right now, and I don't think it will turn out because he's just not as good as we hope. Now, he did say fans might revolt if the Orioles trade Felix Bautista, but Abel is a huge prospect, and the team won't have to get a lot to surrender him. Now, you think of it, the Orioles' rotation is going to be next year. Yet you think Kyle Bradish, your ace, is finally going to be back, but you still need another guy. You still need a top line guy. Grace Rodriguez, will he be healthy? Will Zach Eflin be dealt? Will he be back? We don't know. Then that goes to Povich. Will he be back? Albert Suarez is not. He won't be in there. So who else do you have? Then that brings up another guy. You could put a Bell in that rotation or Trevor Rogers the way he's playing. Dean Kramer, do you trade him? Do you put him in that 5 spot? Is he still in a rotation? Do you move him to the bullpen? There's so many different types of options, but the way that John Heyman was talking about this is the way that he hears the Baltimore Orioles listening to offers, but he doesn't think they're going to be these big sellers that Mike Elias claims. And honestly, let's be honest. Every time Elias comes out in the public and says, "Oh, I'm going to be do this at this part or this junction of the season or off season," it honestly, truly doesn't happen. So I don't expect much from the Baltimore. I don't expect they go full sellers. I still think Mike Elias is going to pull some dumb trade off, and hopefully this team can make the playoff push instead of set this team up for the future. But that's the GM. That's the concern they got right now. But I want to talk more about these 2 guys because I don't think you can trade them right now. Even though trading Cedric Mullins would be a smart idea because he will be a free agent, but do you get what you can get from him now? Teams know he's going to be a free agent. Teams know like Cedric Mullins is not probably in that Anthony Santander range yet because Anthony Santander had one of the best switch hitting seasons of all time last season. So that's the reason that he got paid. Cedric Mullins, on the other hand, he hasn't had a 30 for 30 season since, I think, was it 2021 or 2019? It was 2021. Okay. 2021. So we're looking at a situation where if he gets moved, does that bring up another guy, Enrique Bradfield Jr.? Will he be in AAA by the end of this year? Will he be in flirting with MLB in 2 years? Do you bring up a guy like Dylan Beavers, who's been dominating in AAA? Basalo can come up, move different pieces. Does Kerstad get another chance? There's so many different scenarios, but I feel like you keep Felix. If you can find a trade for Cedric Mullins, then you find a trade for Cedric Mullins. But I'm not going to go out there and just offer Cedric Mullins because even though he could be free agent next year, and let us end this time with the Baltimore Orioles. You never know. The Orioles could offer him a 2-year extension or 1-year extension, just be that placeholder because you always need a veteran outfielder. Now that Tyler O'Neill is just been awful, and the Orioles have to find some way to move on from him because it's been a terrible signing. I knew Tyler O'Neill has never really been healthy, but it's ridiculous the amount of games he misses from just injuries. It's just like, how do you still get paid these big bucks in this league and you're still supposed to be this power, productive, almost all-star hitter? I don't get it. But this team has youth. They have Jackson Holliday, they have draft picks. I know a lot of people are shaking over those first two catchers that they shaking. I don't know. I was shaking, but now I think about it more. You can flip those or you can call up different guys. This means that Pasalo might be fast tracked more than we expected. A lot of moving parts going with the Baltimore, but it all stems with Mike Elias and how he will manage his team going forward. I have no idea. I've said it multiple times. They're going to be big sellers at the deadline, but I've also said anytime Mike Elias gives us a clear vision of what he's doing at the trade deadline, it usually doesn't happen. And it leaves fans pondering and upset. And I don't want anyone to be upset because our high expectations coming into the season, the Baltimore's did not win. Young players underperformed. Jackson Holliday was having bad stretch, and he had a good stretch, and then he's back to his normal stuff. He looks like an everyday MLB player. He's getting better every single game. So that's another bright spot. But on the other hand, Adley Rutschman has not gotten better. Still the same guy. But obviously he was dealing with an injury. So hopefully when he come off the injury, he'll look better. Other than that, I think the Baltimore Orioles are not in that worst spot. Yeah, 8, 9 games from the wild card spot. So remember what I said. Sell, sell, sell. Because that's what the Baltimore are going to do. And I think that's the best thing for this whole franchise and organization right now and the future. Well, you could have guessed it. That's all we have for today. Thank you, folks, for joining Orioles Digest. Don't forget, hit that like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're giving you daily updates about the Baltimore's every single day that you don't want to miss. From Orioles Digest, I'm your host, Kam Brice.